Growing up without emotional love doesn't just hurt in childhood. It rewires your brain in ways that follow you into adulthood. And if you didn't receive consistent emotional warmth, affection, or validation as a kid, there are 5 specific patterns you're probably still carrying today. Let's talk about what actually happens. Real quick, if this kind of psychology content resonates with you, subscribe and comment where you're from. It helps me keep making these. All right, let's dive in. So here's what developmental psychology has shown us. When a child doesn't receive consistent love, whether through neglect, emotional unavailability, or conditional affection, it creates what psychologists call attachment wounds. And these don't just fade with time. They shape how you see yourself, how you connect with others, and how you move through the world. Here are 5 ways this shows up. First, you become hypervigilant in relationships. Your nervous system learned early that love is unpredictable or conditional. So now, as an adult, you're constantly scanning for signs that someone's about to leave, lose interest, or withdraw affection. You overanalyze texts, you read into tone changes, you brace for abandonment even in stable relationships. It's exhausting, but it's not paranoia. It's a survival mechanism that made sense when you were a kid trying to navigate unpredictable emotional environments. Psychology calls this anxious attachment, and it stems directly from inconsistent early caregiving. Your brain is still trying to predict and control what it couldn't control back then. The second effect is you struggle to actually receive love or compliments. Someone says something kind, and your immediate reaction is discomfort, disbelief, or the urge to deflect. Here's why. When you grow up unloved, your brain forms what's called a negative core belief. At a deep level, you internalize the message, I'm not worthy of love. So when someone offers it now, it clashes with that belief. It literally feels wrong. Your brain rejects positive input because it doesn't match your internal programming. And this creates a painful cycle. You crave love but can't hold it when it's given. You might even push away people who treat you well because their kindness feels destabilizing. Number 3, you become an overachiever or chronic people pleaser. If love was conditional growing up, you learn that your value depends on what you do, not who you are. So now you chase achievement, perfectionism, or constant helpfulness. You think, if I'm successful enough, helpful enough, good enough, then I'll finally be lovable. But it never feels like enough because you're trying to earn something that should have been given freely. This is called earned secure attachment seeking, and it's exhausting. You're running a race that has no finish line because external validation can't fix an internal wound. Number 4 effect is you might experience emotional numbness. When love wasn't safe or available, your brain learned to shut down emotions as a protective strategy. If you don't feel, you can't be hurt. But now, as an adult, you find it hard to access deep emotions. You feel disconnected from yourself and others. Relationships feel shallow because you can't let yourself be fully present. It's not that you don't care, it's that caring once meant pain, so your nervous system learned to stay neutral. Psychologists call this dissociation or emotional blunting. And it's one of the most misunderstood effects because from the outside, you might seem fine, but inside, you're far away from yourself. And finally, the 5th effect is you carry a deep fear of being a burden. If your needs were ignored, dismissed, or treated as inconvenient as a child, you learn to minimize yourself. Now you apologize constantly. You don't ask for help. You hide when you're struggling. You'd rather suffer alone than risk bothering someone. Because at some point, you internalized the belief that your existence, your needs, your feelings are too much. But here's the truth psychology wants you to know. Having needs doesn't make you a burden. It makes you human. The people who made you feel that way were wrong, and unlearning this is possible. If you recognize yourself in any of these 5 effects, I want you to know you're not broken. You adapted to survive a childhood that didn't give you what you needed. And recognizing these patterns, that's the first step toward healing them. For more psychology deep dives like this, check out my newsletter in the description. Every week I break down topics like trauma, attachment, and human behavior. No fluff, just real insight.